but you can't fuck with the Chinese. You can't fuck with the Russians. You are cowards. You fuck with unarmed people. It's like the war in Libya, in Iraq. It's like me having an AK-47 and you having a knife. That's the imbalance that there is in war. So you Americans are great heroes. Great. You watch all of these Hollywood movies, Rambo. If he was black, you'd call him Sambo. You have all of these movies, Predator. All of these war movies. And these Americans, they put on their wraparound sunglasses. And they walk around like they're, ooh, terrible guys. And then you create these legendary myths about your Navy SEALs, Green Berets, you little bunch of motherfuckers. I've seen some of you cats in the field. You can't do jack shit when someone's armed equally like you. But you are heroes when you have your big weapons, when you have your airplanes to give you air support. But you are really cowards. The number of drones that you Americans are dropping in Somalia, in Pakistan, in Yemen, in Afghanistan, in the same week when we had the Boston bombing, where two blew up a place, the Boston Marathon. All of the world was sympathetic with you Americans. They were like, oh, all over the media, all over the world. We saw the Boston bombing unfold. We saw the narratives. We saw the narratives. We had the experts, we had the analysts, we had the pundits, we had the defense experts. We heard from everyone when we had the Boston bombing, when there was an attack against America. But in the same week of the Boston Marathon bombing, you American motherfuckers dropped a missile, a bomb from an unmanned drone aircraft in Afghanistan, killing 10 people. The week before, you killed civilians. Right throughout the world, from Afghanistan, from Pakistan, from Yemen, from Somalia, you have killed thousands of innocent civilians, yet none of you motherfuckers consider it terrorism. None of you consider it terrorism. How is it that whenever a foreigner attacks the West, it's terrorism? But whenever you attack somewhere else, you're fighting for freedom. What freedom are you fighting for? It is propaganda, it is propaganda, it is propaganda. And all of you motherfuckers, you're always experts in Africa. Now when I'm on Facebook and the internet debating with people about Syria, Libya, Africa, all of you left-wing liberal motherfuckers, all of a sudden, you become experts on Africa. You become experts on Syria. You become experts on Iran. All of a sudden, what really do you know about Africa? Sir, this is not meant to offend anyone, and I'm not targeting anyone. You, sir. You, sir. Yes. There are 54 states in Africa.
Texas wants to break away. They're fed up with tax.
Sir, I've told you already, this is England. In England we have adverts every 15 minutes. In America it's 4 minutes. We're out of pace. So we have an advert coming in 5 minutes. Sir, in Africa there are 54 states. Tell me the names of 4 African presidents. You, sir? You look like an elderly man who's been around the world and educated. Tell me the name of 4 African presidents. Can't do it. Oh, I've got your stump there. You, sir? You? That's how much you really know. But all of a sudden when we discuss Africa, you're experts. You're experts in Africa. No one can debate a white liberal in Africa because you know everything. But the reality is you know nothing. You know nothing about the Middle East. When we talk about terrorism, when we talk about independence, when we talk about Africa's rights to exist, look at it. The first democratically elected president of Africa was Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah, overthrown by who? The CIA. In the Congo, we had Patrice Lumumba, a man who said, you can kill the man, but you can't kill the idea. Overthrown, murdered by who? The CIA. Guatemala, Benz. Dominican Republic, Trujillo, overthrown by who? The CIA. Democratically elected. In Chile, 1971, on September the 3rd, sorry, 1973, September the 11th, overthrown, Salvador Allende, the democratically elected president of Chile, democratically elected. I use the word democracy because you motherfuckers love to bawl about democracy. We are talking only about democracies, not dictatorships. Salvador Allende, democratically elected, overthrown by who? The CIA.
Didn't the US support Trujillo first?
Of course. In Vietnam, you went to war. You then divided North against the South. Why? Because Eisenhower, because Ho Chi Minh was the populist leader. And Eisenhower said, anyone who is versed in Indo-Chinese affairs knows that Ho Chi Minh will win any democratic elections. That was Vietnam. That's how you motherfuckers end up in Vietnam, killing, murdering 3 million Vietnamese. You are in Korea. So now all of a sudden, we focus on Syria. We focus on Libya. We focus on Iran. We focus on Iraq. We focus on Afghanistan. That is one region. And we think, wow, look at what's going on. The region is in flames. Islam. We've got to combat that dirty religion of Islam. We have to suppress the Muslims because Muslims are against our way of life. We must challenge them. So you claim now we look at a region. This isn't new. It has happened before. It happened when you motherfuckers launched your war against communism. War against communism. Where were you? You went to Laos. You went to Cambodia. You went to Vietnam. You overthrew Patrice Lumumba because you claimed he was becoming communist. You overthrew Kwame Nkrumah because you claimed he was becoming communist. You overthrew Sukarno in Indonesia because you claimed he was becoming communist. That was the 60s and the 70s. You focused on a region to try and break it down. In the 80s, where was America's focus? Latin America. What was we having in Latin America? The same thing we have today when we focus upon the war on terror in the 80s. And they can get away with it because every generation changes. So this generation, you're a young man, how old are you? 19. You know there's a war in Afghanistan, don't you? You know there's a war in Iraq, don't you? But you're so young, they can always exploit each generation. It's young people like yourself who are the soldiers, the combatants, the people who they exploit. In the 80s, this war was still going on. But then it was in Latin America, when the so-called American war was the war on drugs. Then when the Americans were fighting the war on drugs, they were in El Salvador, Nicaragua, Guatemala, Panama. They burnt up the entire region. I am saying, and I'm saying it unequivocally, and I'm saying it as a challenge to any motherfucker who wants to challenge me on it. The American government is the most terrorist government that exists on the earth today.
And Cameron,
I refuse to refer to the United States. They are the United Snakes of America. The United Snakes, vipers, cobras, motherfucking dirty, venomous motherfuckers. The United Snakes of America has this history, but you motherfuckers are so cowardly. You cannot see it. Why can't you see it? Because we all embrace Western and American culture. We all drink Coca-Cola. We all go to the movies. We all know Rambo. We all know Arnold Schwarzenegger. We all know the Hollywood stars. Hollywood is the greatest propaganda machine on earth. How is it was possible during September 11th when terrorists, unidentified, attacked the World Trade Center? When we had the World Trade Center bombing, when we had September 11th, 3,000 people died, everyone around the world was like, oh my God, fucking hell, they've attacked America. In their head, what they're commuting is, fucking hell, they've attacked Coca-Cola. They've attacked McDonald's. They've attacked Friends, Fraser, Sex in the City. They've attacked American culture because we all identify with it by our dress, by the films, by the programs we watch. We know a part of American culture. We can identify with it. But what did you do when you attacked Iraq? When you bombed Iraq? None of you clowns can really associate with it, unless you are perhaps Muslim, unless you are perhaps from the Middle East. You knew nothing about Iraq. You did not. They don't tell you that Iraq was one of the most sophisticated societies. In Iraq, prior to the invasion of Iran in 1980, Iraq had the highest level of educated middle classes throughout the region. They were exporting doctors. Iraq was exporting engineers. In Iraq, poor people ate chicken every day. That was the Iraq. They don't tell you that Iraq as a civilization, remember they said this is a war in civilization. Iraq was one of the first civilizations. The oldest known form of handwriting came from Iraq, predates the hieroglyphics of Egypt. When we go into the mythology of spiritualism of the Bible, and we talk about Abraham, the man who allegedly brought religion, Abraham, whether you are Jewish, Christian or Muslim, the man you call Abraham of your faith, where was he allegedly born? He was born in a place called Ur. Where is Ur? In Iraq, you dumb motherfuckers. Abraham was born in Iraq. That was the civilization that you were attacking when you're claiming that you're propping up and bolstering your own civilization. Recognize it. Recognize the history. Saddam Hussein was a friend of the West. Saddam Hussein was trained, armed, backed, and supported by America. Douglas Hurd, the Foreign Secretary under Margaret Thatcher, visited Saddam Hussein, was friends with Saddam Hussein. Osama bin Laden, trained, armed, backed, supported by the West.
Trained in Sanders.
The same terrorists that you now want us to hate were trained, armed, and backed by you. The Mujahideen of Afghanistan were your heroes. You backed them, you supported them. But all of a sudden, you in the West, we must do something about it. We have to do something for freedom. Let me ask you this question. Sir, why, you sir, we're going to get to you first. Why are Western troops in Afghanistan? Yes. Are you American? Oh, well spotted. Why? The only one you said, why are we there? Why are you there? Excuse me, security. Don't fuck. Dangerous brother. Don't fuck.
Well, we're told because terrorists are there, and that's where the terrorists came from September 11th.
Because we are told terrorists are there, and that's where the terrorists of September 11th came from. Do you have any evidence to suggest that the terrorists came from? In fact, I think, how much is it? 15 of the hijackers were Saudi? 18. 18 of the attackers were Saudi. Why didn't you bomb Saudi Arabia? They came from Saudi Arabia, not Afghanistan. They were Saudi. Sorry?
Because the Bush administration.
Because the Bush administration were friends with them. So hold on. It's like me, sir, it's like me being jumped by a Chinaman and attacking a Pakistani. because we were friends, he says, with the Saudis. But your previous statement was you went there because you were told that the people responsible for the attack on September the 11th were Afghan. In fact, Osama bin Laden himself is Saudi. Sir, so I put it to you.
I just wanted to mean that these people attacked there. They've been trained over there. This one a place.
They were trained where?
In Afghanistan.
Stop talking nonsense. If you know why, sir, where was Osama bin Laden before Afghanistan as well? He was in Somalia. Somalia. We look at the global network, my friend. Sir. Excuse me, sir. Sir. Security, security, security. Don't fuck, I tell you. I'm here just in case any American special forces try anything. You've got my backup. Sir, you, why are Western forces in Afghanistan? Don't know. Sir, why are Western forces in Afghanistan? Don't know. Sir? To keep Afghanistan. Now, bearing in mind that you are individual people from various parts of the world, you're not planted here. This is a cross-section of people from all over the world. We have a man from China. Where are you from, sir? Where's your parents from? Jamaica. Where are you from? Where are your parents from? Afghan. Oh, an Afghan. Pakistan. You, sir. Scotland. Oh, oppressed as well. You, sir. Oh, I'm British. You, sir. Sorry? Eritrea. We have people from all over the world. How is it that if we think this as just an ordinary cross-section, how comes this point of view is not being reflected in the media? Now, your point of view, sir, was because you're there to stop terrorism.
That's what we're told.
That's what we're told.
I'm not saying that.
Last week, 3 British soldiers were killed. 3 British soldiers were killed and their bodies were returned to Britain. David Cameron went on television and said, that just reinforces, he didn't say that word, I'm just paraphrasing, reinforces why we are there in Afghanistan, to stop terrorists from gaining a base where they can attack Britain. Because he made that statement, the media gave him the space to expose that statement to the public because it reduces the argument of, why are you there? I asked you this question, he said, to stop bases from being built in Afghanistan, to stop terrorism. May I ask you, tell me the name of one terrorist from Afghanistan who has attacked America, Britain, France, Spain, or Italy? There is none. Not one Afghan terrorist has attacked this country. Yet you are spending trillions of dollars on a war that you don't even ask why. Your public are being lied to. You develop the idea that terrorism, really? Let me just get frank with you motherfuckers. What the fuck are you scared of? Ooh, terrorism. You're standing here right now listening to this beautiful speech. Are you scared? No? Are you scared? Are you scared? Terrified, I'm sure. Scared of what? I might ask. You might ask. Are you scared that a bomb is gonna go off whilst you're listening to me? When you go shopping on fucking Oxford Street, are you terrified that a bomb's gonna blow up? When you go out to the pubs in the night, to your clubs and your bars in the evenings, are you scared that a bomb's gonna blow you up? You have got fuck all to be scared of in this country. You've got fuck all to be scared of terrorism really across America, apart from being scared of yourselves. Because Americans are nutcases, walk into schools and blaze them a fucking place. Yes. You haven't got fuck all to be scared of. The people who should really be scared are the people of Afghanistan, who every day when they woke up in Iraq, still now that the war's over, just to go to the corner shop to buy a loaf of bread, you don't even know whether you're going to come back. These are the people who should be really scared of terrorism. The people where you have exported your brand of terrorism on the back of F-16 fighter jets, on the backs of Apache helicopter gunships, and on the backs or out of the mouths of the BBC, Sky News, CNN. These are propaganda outlets. They are in your homes telling you what to believe.
Invade Pakistan, that's what a caravan are.
You're fine. Everything's all right. But when bombs start going off in your countries, when people start dying in these societies, that's when you will take the issue seriously. My friend, I am simply saying, there is no reason, no justification for Western forces to be in Iraq, Afghanistan. There is no justification. There was no justification for a Western presence in Libya or Syria. Now look at what the West says. The West says they are going to support, that they've been supporting the Syrian rebels with weapons. They've been supporting Syria with logistics. They've been training the Syrians. They did the same thing in Libya. Imagine, sir, about 2 years ago, there was an uprising in Britain whereby young people took up arms, well, not took up arms, I would have liked that, wishful thinking, where young people ran riots across Britain, right across the country. You were terrified. It was a sign of things to come. I saw the youths on the street, taking control of the streets, thinking, fuck it, something's got to be done. How would you in England, how would your government like it? How would your people like it if some foreign government said, let's give them arms?
They've got the hydrogen bomb.
Let's give these rioters some walkie-talkies. Let's give some of these rioters some military training.
Go there now.
Let's give them some AK-47s and some hand grenades and some mortars. See what damage they can do. How the fuck would you like it if you armed are people who are rising up in your country?
Should the West ignore the chemical attacks on these Syrian people then?
Oh wow, okay. He says, should the West
people?
Okay, he says, should the West ignore the chemical attacks?
Teaching and learning the rules of men. Praise the Lord, hallelujah.